Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bagadon. It's Stock Market Caddy, and today is November 8th, Election Day. And the markets seem a bit relieved, maybe. I think we all will be once this is over. Get rid of all these commercials, although I don't watch much TV. It is November 8th at noon, and we hope you're doing well. You are on a... What just happened there? I'm sorry. What did I just do? Well, that's kind of crazy. What happened there? Oh, I hit the wrong switch there. All right, we'll bring that back into view. Let's see if I can do this. Got it all set up, and there we go. All right, hit the wrong button. And we're not making a recommendation to buy or sell anything. We're not a broker. We're not a financial advisor. And you are on YouTube. You are on a delay. Although we have members that are watching on Zoom, and they're not on delay. If there is, it's imperceptible. It's only internet speeds. But they have everything that we have on our desktop. And what is going on in these markets right now? So we trade the here in the now, right here, right now. We'll leave the forecasting and the projecting. I mean, we can get into a little of that. There are certainly some things that you can glean and yes, but that isn't what we're doing day in and day out. When we're trading intraday, we are on the field. We are on the field and we are playing the game right here, right now. So let's take a look. Let's mark this up a little bit. Bear with me, and I'll show you what Swing Machine is up to. And right here, we'll start with the VIX. The 5-minute VIX. Well, actually, this is a little interesting. It had been short, so we might get a little bit of a dip in here. It actually just went long at 11:40, so it had been short early this morning. So I'm just catching that now. So we might see a little pause in these markets. We'll watch this. It's a little interesting there. The ES on a 5-minute interval right here went long at 10:15. In one mini contract, you are up $1,700. The NQ on a 5-minute interval, one mini contract, went long at 10:20. Not unusual at all. These markets are commoditized. They move together, usually within minutes. The Dow futures went long on a 5-minute basis right in here. Let's see if I can try to line these up here. At 435. So that was a little bit earlier. The Dow has been kind of leading these markets as they're heading for perceived safety. The Russell went long at 1040. So it went with the other two. And we'll put that in here and uses a lot less leverage. And that position is up 450. The big story of the day, I hope it didn't catch you guys by surprise. It hasn't caught us. We've been talking about this for some time, and it is going higher. Now, intraday, it had a big breakout at 445 this morning, and that is gold. Gold. The real gold. And that's up 4,450 a gold contract. Now, we've been buying call options on gold and call options on silver, for a while. It's going higher, folks, in our view. I'm not going to tell a story or a narrative. We're technical traders. We track money flow. That's all we're doing. And intraday, we trade futures. Why? They're liquid. The difference between the bid and the ask is extremely small, and they move. So we have liquidity, and we have access to our money. We can affect trades. We're not going to project. Swing Machine is one of our tools. It helps us stay on the right side of the market rather than getting chart blindness and watching one chart after another. We can see the entire market, and you can see that it is getting a little bit of a dip right here, right now. Doesn't mean go short. It might mean, if you want to take your profits and knock out a $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000, you want to take your profit by all means. We're not taking a profit on gold though. We're going to hold on to that. If you have any questions on what you're watching, you can use the chat function. Tina's probably here. She's here every time. Hi, Tina. That's okay. And we're happy to answer any of your questions. We're going to do this YouTube session. We're going to let you watch for about an hour, and then we got to get back to business. And oh yeah, I was just going to ask you that. Good to go at any time. Caleb, would you mind if we could do that at about 1, just after 1? We're live on YouTube right now. I didn't it's just yeah, okay. So thank you, Caleb. So I'll look for you like shortly after 1. We'll close down. We did some covered calls with Caleb. This is for the benefit of everybody. We did some covered calls with Caleb and on gold the other day, and we want to look at that, right? Because what's going to happen is Caleb bought shares of gold, and those shares are running. It's a beautiful thing, but he sold some calls against it. And it's also a good thing, but those calls, Caleb, are going to look to you to be underwater. And we're not going to want to do anything with them. They're going to get called away and, in a bunch. And you're going to feel like you left a ton of money on the table, and you will have, but that's okay. But we'll take a peek at them at around 1. Thank you, Caleb. And again, on YouTube, if you have any questions, I'm not going to bend your ears. I've met many of you. It's your opportunity. If you want me to plug any particular market into Swing Machine, any trade that you've done in the past, don't hesitate. And we're excuse me, happy to answer any questions. I do think we've been saying this. Technically, this market wanted to go higher, and it still does. I know the sentiment, and I know that people are bearish. I get it. We were too, but we don't get locked into anything. The reason why we are not surprised by this is the VIX has been coming in and coming in and coming in. And then also, we've been reporting on this to our members nightly. The skew and the S&P is very, very, very low. Very, very low. So we think, we don't know, but we were seeing a low skew back before the Fed. Remember when everyone was panicking and the Fed talked so tough? It scared the bejesus out of everybody, and then everybody started, it's like pigeons and on the Rome Square. Somebody throws a stone and the pigeons start to fly, and then all the pigeons are flying. They don't even know why they're flying, but they're flying because everyone else is flying. And everyone else was just, because the Fed was talking so tough, and he's a tough guy, and he's going to do this and do that. And we're like, VIX isn't confirming that. Skew isn't confirming that. Maybe he's just talking tough. Maybe he just wants to scare the bejesus out of everybody. And maybe, let's take a little further outlook out there. Maybe that inflation number, the next inflation number, maybe the Fed knows what that number is Thursday. And what if that number shows that inflation has come in? Uh-oh. Then the market's going to do what? The market's going to say, oh, maybe the Fed wanted that to be the case. He wanted everybody to bet against them. He wanted everybody to do that. He was talking so tough, right? But he knows he's got the ace in his pocket. He's got the inflation number. He's going to let the data speak. Now, the inflation number is probably cooked. It's probably BS. But my guess is that the big money, they knew, and we could see what they were doing with the VIX. We could see what they were doing with the skew. We could see that. And they were accumulating. And they were also accumulating gold and silver and the gold miners. They were getting out of dollars. They were getting into other currencies. And guess what's going to happen if that inflation number comes in? This market is going to ignite. And then all those people who've been short, who are holding against hope that it's going to go down, what are they going to do? They're going to cover. In this market, we could be north of 3,900 by Friday. We could be at 4,000. I think it's so extreme. We could go to 4,100, 4,200. I think it's that. And then everyone was, oh, it was the election. It was this, it was that, it was the inflation. Does you no good, unless if you have swing machine. If you have a swing machine, yes, you can just stay right in sync. That might be the scenario. And you want to, when you're trading options and going out days, weeks in advance, you kind of want to have an idea of the field and maybe some catalysts. Thanksgiving, low volume, usually perennially, the market has a tendency to want to run up into that. But if you don't want to do that and you want to just trade the here and the now, boy, swing machine is a beautiful way to go. Now, we did, for those of you on YouTube, if you haven't seen it, we uploaded a video view of some program trading review that we've done with a gentleman that is in his third or fourth week of Q school. And he's running a profit factor of since Sunday night of about 3.3, all robotic, all trades in, all trades out. Very comfortable. We continue. It's only been a couple of days, but he's up for the week about 1,600. If you have any questions, feel free. I'm going to attend to a few things, including taking our boy Ted for a little trot outside, and we'll keep an eye on this VIX. It isn't hard tethered. It is a little bit modest. I'm attentive to it. It doesn't mean go sell everything, but it is a little odd that is kind of running up here right now, and it's on a 5-minute basis. So this market might give us a little bit of a pause here and come in a little bit. But these 5 minutes look pretty entrenched right now. And this is the beautiful thing. Everybody is free to do what they want to do. If we have a member that took this trade at 10.15 and he made $200, good for him or her. If someone made 600 or 800, good for them. If someone else is still holding on and going to try to ride it through, good for them too. They have the skill, they have the discipline, they know what they're doing. They're in control, they're at bat, and the market is pitching to them, but they're in control. They decide when they go to bat. They decide when they're going to swing. If they got to foul one off, but they're not going to let the market swing them around wildly. Hopefully not. But you got to be rested, got to be fresh, need to be, it's fun, but don't want to get too euphoric, too emotional at all. We always have to fight that. We want to just stay in the game, in the moment, and you can always stop early, right? And we're not going to try to stretch 5-minute trades into daily swing trades. That is not a good practice. We want to enter on a larger time frame and ideally come out on a smaller time frame. And that's the same, even the same with options. You put on options for 45 days and you take them out, 21 days later. We don't want to be putting on options, for just, 10 days and you get your pop in the first day, and then, you're holding on to it thinking, this is going to be the big one. I'm going to hold on to it for 10 days and the thing just erodes on you. So you always want to go, take a larger view and then try to exit out on a shorter view, shorter interval, shorter time frame, and keep the market at bay. What was really neat about the program trading that our Matthew's been doing, he's been trading, he's got a few different markets, but he's been in the market since Sunday night, but he's only been in the market about 17% of the time. Very, very low. And tough to get hit by a pitch if you're not in the batter's box every 5 minutes. Don't need to be, right? So we're getting this little pullback. Now, we don't have time here to explain how to trade swing machine. It isn't a red light, green light. It isn't moving averages. There's a technique to using this, and it takes a few days, and just a few days. But there is a technique for doing it, and during the Q school, it's the very first thing that we tackle, and then the person has a view of swing machine, either the full market or one market, in addition to a chart. But you might consider this like the dashboard of an airplane. So we can fly from here, but we can also look out the horizon and look at a chart if we choose to. Enjoy. We'll be here if you got any questions. if the CPI number is low to Thursday, you're going to probably see a continuation of rates coming in. So you might see the TLT. It looks like the TLT may have put in a little bit of a near-term bottom down here around 93, 94. And if the rates come in, the bonds are going to rally. The bonds are going to rally. The dollar's going to come in. The markets are going to rally. Gold's going to rally. Silver's going to rally. Oil's probably going to rally too for at least a little while. So other longs that we're considering is TLT. And some of the beaten down stuff. I think Amazon's really interesting here, down in the low 90s, going out into December and January. I really do. I think that stock's really been trashed. I think FCX looks pretty good, to name a few, and we're getting some indication. And some of the Chinese stocks are also starting to do better as well. So. No, I still think the market's, going to have issues for some time, but near term, it looks like we got ourselves some sort of a, relief rally in store here. Maybe one that goes right through Thanksgiving. Maybe. Got to also be careful. The day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, the markets are open, and there have been instances where they pull the plug on the day after Thanksgiving. But we'll worry about that or concern ourselves with that at that time. But right now, it looks like they want to bring this stuff up.
Okay, we're going to need to part ways with YouTube. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. YouTube, we're going to shut that down. And